Hi everyone and welcome back. In today's episode, I'm going to show you the first harvest of the season, and we should be having a great salad tonight, which I'm really excited about. I'm also going to finish planting out the rest of the empty spaces in my garden with tomatoes, peppers, and eggplants.
Alright, let's start with the good stuff. Here I am harvesting some lettuce. This is leaf lettuce, not head lettuce. So I just kind of bunch up the leaves and then cut right at the base of the plant. With lettuce, you can cut and come again, which just means that the lettuce should grow back after the first cutting. I also harvested Swiss chard. I had to harvest the Swiss chard one leaf at a time because it's not as thick as the lettuce. I just took the biggest leaves off of each plant to ensure that the smaller ones keep growing. Radish is super easy to harvest, just pluck it straight from the base. It's still an early harvest, so the radish aren't quite that big yet.
And all this is salad tonight. We got lettuce, radish, and Swiss chard.
I'm finally done planting the garden, everybody. I highly encourage anyone who doesn't have a lot of space to get started gardening, because if you use the square foot gardening method, you will be extremely surprised by how many plants you can get into such a small space. Right here you see me planting the last of my cherry tomato plants. I went with the Husky Red variety. Here you see me planting a couple of poblano peppers. I also planted jalapeno and serrano today. I haven't tried growing hot peppers ever, so this is a new experience for me. But all of the peppers I planted earlier in the season have been doing great, so I have no reason to doubt these. I also planted eggplant today, and it proved to be a little bit tricky because I had to do it up against the trellis. I'm also brand new to eggplant. I'm not really a huge fan of eggplant, but I figured, hey, why not try and grow as many different crops as possible?
Okay, so a little garden update on what I haven't showed you already. I also planted leeks today. My wife likes them. I've never grown them before, so we'll see how that turns out. I tore up the spinach that was right here because it bolted. And I planted some jalapeno and Tabasco peppers. This bed was empty, and I planted 2 leftover kale plants that I had. I also mulched the okra right here. The okra really didn't do too well. I planted 4, I wanted to have 4 okra plants in each square foot, and this one only has 2, this one has 3, this one only has 1, and that one has 3. I also planted lemon balm today. Never grown it before. Should be exciting. And I also planted some pineapple sage. Another pick by the wife. I planted 6 tomato plants. They are the celebrity variety. This is the only square foot in the garden that has not been planted yet. And the reason is because I want to plant another black crim tomato plant, but I haven't been able to get a hold of one yet. So I'm not quite sure if I have a pollination problem with my tomatoes yet. I can't really see if they're taking or not. But if you're not sure and you're having trouble with your tomatoes, quick little tip, you can just go to the base right here and just try to shake your plants every once in a while. Just at the base like that, not too hard, but give everything pollinated, and yeah, it should help my tomato yields. Another thing I've started doing with my tomatoes is pruning. So taking off all of the suckers. So when you see the main stem right here, so that's a leaf. And then in between there is what's known as a sucker. Can you see that? This little guy. So I'm gonna go in there and take that little guy out like that. And he would grow into another little section of the plant if I let him. But I want to focus everything on vertical growth right now, so I'm getting rid of the suckers.
Before I end the video, I want to take a moment to note I've already grown more food than I ever thought possible on this small of a space. If you're thinking about starting a garden, I highly encourage you to just do it. No matter how small, just start one. And lastly, thank you to all my supporters and all my followers.
That's all for today. Thanks for watching, and remember, every garden makes a difference.